Hello, I'm outside Redbridge Rail Station because a lot is happening and all has been happening over the few weeks on Southampton's public transport network. Not just on the buses, but what's been going on? Well, for the first part, I've got to go over to Albion Place and I'll explain it all there. So this is Albion Place. It's the brand new bus hub in Southampton city centre opposite the Rescue shopping complex. But passengers travelling to here have faced this major disruption over the past week. But why is that? Now that's because Southern Water have detected a leak somewhere along the Redbridge causeway, which in turn had had to cause them to implement emergency roadworks, which have caused the Redbridge flyover to be shut off. But what is the Redbridge flyover and how is this having an impact on all of the Totton and Waterside services, or just in fact routes that operate from Bluestar's depot in Totton? So this is the Redbridge flyover, and it's this piece of bit of dual carriageway that has been making headlines in the news lately and causing delays and cancellations to thousands of Bluestar services that operate from Totton, as well as forcing Source to be read to Bluestar to terminate the X7R and X7 route in Totton. So it brings us to this question: what the is going on, and why is there all this traffic and causing a massive impact on Bluestar's Totton and Waterside routes? So here's the problem: Southern Water, Southern Water, the people who've left pretty much all of Totton Depot and parts of Southampton without water 3 days before Christmas, has found a leak in its pipelines along the Redbridge causeway, which has forced them to implement emergency roadworks. But here's where the problem lies: the leak in the roadworks is nowhere on the Redbridge flyover, and it's actually just a couple metres after it, or a couple miles. But the problem is they have still shut off all of the Redbridge flyover heading into Southampton, which has forced traffic, and including the Bluestar buses, to go via and be diverted onto the Redbridge Roundabout. And Redbridge Roundabout is quite a busy roundabout, as it has the M271 leading up to the M27 and traffic to and from Southampton and Totton. And it's causing massive tailbacks, even stretching as far as Rushington roundabout in some parts in Totton, which is of course causing delays and having a massive impact on Bluestar's Waterside and Totton services. But then here's what we also been asking is, why are buses just simply terminating and not going back out? Well, that comes down to driver hours. You see, bus drivers on Bluestar, and in fact anywhere in the UK, can only drive for 5.5 hours before they legally have to, by law, take a 45-minute break. Unfortunately, this cannot be missed, and if a driver goes over their hours or misses their break, there could be massive repercussions for them or the company. So often it may be a case of drivers have to empty its passengers to Albion Place and then go back out to somewhere along the route or the terminus of that route to start there, so they can claw back their time, so they do not go over their driving hours, which is often the main reason why services have been getting cancelled, especially if there's no other buses from other depots like Empress who can maybe run the route. But how long does it even take to get over it? As many speculations from drivers are saying it's taking an hour or two just to get over. Now I don't know if they're talking about it takes an hour to get over the Redbridge Roundabout and all of the traffic, or if it takes an hour or two to do the route there and back. So I hopped on the number Bluestar 9 to find out for myself, but I did a stopwatch, see how long it would take to normally get over it. So heading towards Applemore, I did a stopwatch there when we hit the flyover, and then when I came back, I of course did the stopwatch and see how long it took to get through all of the traffic.
Next stop, Central Station, and lights here for National Rail Services. Please note, this bus was limited stop to Redbridge Roundabout after next stop. Next stop, Rushington Road. Next stop, Millbrook Road.
gonna stop it at the lights, but I won't time that bit. Alright. Going to do it is because even though all the traffic is still
Business Park. This is the last stop in the Southampton Plus fare zone. For travel beyond here, you must take a Metro train.
So that's how long it takes just to get over to Rushington, well, to roughly where we were just a few minutes ago. Took 2 minutes 42.40 seconds just to get over the other side. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this down to Albion Tesco, and then we're going to come back and see how long it takes with all the roadworks and the traffic. Cheers, Troy. So we're at Albion Tesco. So now we're gonna wait for the bus back in Southampton and see how long it takes over the closed section of the flyover and see how long it takes to get over that. Bus times, there's 2 lines and they're both towards the city centre, so that's fun. Back towards Southampton. Let's see how long it takes us to get there, or to at least get over the flyover. With the stopwatch started, let's see how long it takes us to get through all the traffic along the roundabout. We've just about pulled out of the bus stop, so yeah, we're not really doing good. Driver of the other line, obviously he's trying to do a little shortcut, and even then he's struggling to safely pull away so he can turn safely. Stop. We'll likely follow him as well. But here is where we take a little turn. Instead of sitting on the Tottenham bypass and sitting in all of the traffic, instead we go through a little shortcut which is to go through Tottenham, which is actually a lot more quicker than just sitting on the bypass. As when I was on the 9 the other day, there was an 8 in front of us and they went through Tottenham and actually got through all the traffic a lot more quicker than we did when we just sat on the Tottenham bypass. So we're in Tottenham and he's so far taken us 11 minutes. Although it is a bit sad to see that the USBs have been badly damaged. But there's even more of a quicker way to get to Redbridge Roundabout, which is on the main road that links Tottenham to Redbridge Roundabout. Part of the trip there is a bus lane which cars obviously can't use, which allows the bus to skip through all of the cars stuck in the traffic trying to get to the roundabout. So therefore, getting through Redbridge Roundabout, getting to it quicker and getting off it a lot more easier. But despite of this bus lane, it doesn't go all the way on to the Redbridge Roundabout or even the flyover, so meaning it does come to an end just before we reach the bridge, which of course means the bus still has to sit in the oncoming traffic, but it did help us get there a little bit quicker. Maybe in the future a bus lane might be added to make it reach Redbridge Roundabout.
It's only 30 minutes.
So 19 minutes in, almost 20, and we've just about to go over the bridge. "22 minutes and 30 seconds, we're just about to get onto the main roundabout." 26 minutes, 48.09 seconds just to get over here. Crazy. So I'm back at Millbrook Station for the second part of what's been going on. So as we all know, with the Redbridge flyover and the carnage it's been happening on all the Bluestar services, but it's not just Bluestar that have been affected, and definitely not for this weekend, which is the exact reason why I'm here at Millbrook Station, because the trains are also having a massive changeover over the weekend. And when we mean changeover, let's just say the people who own South Western Railway. Of course, being First Group and MTR. First Group, we all probably know the people who run Cityhead and Solent in Portsmouth. But you might remember back a few months ago, this was on the news and made several headlines.
This is ITV News at 10.
3 more of the country's train companies will be renationalised in the new year. South Western Railways will be first, followed by C2C and Greater Anglia by the autumn. What does it mean for passengers? Well, the government says the move will reduce cancellations and delays, but the change won't reduce rail
That's
fares.
because back in December last year, the new Labour Party announced that it would be renationalising 3 train companies, one of them being South Western Railway, which is currently managed in a joint venture with First Group and the MTR. South Western Railway are responsible for running services in and out of London Waterloo, running to destinations such as Weymouth, Southampton and Portsmouth, as well as all of the London suburban networks. They are also responsible for the Metro commuter lines in and around Southampton and the routes like Southampton to Portsmouth, Winchester to Bournemouth and the Romsey Rocket services or Romsey to Salisbury shuttles. They are also responsible for running the shuttle service between Brockenhurst and Lymington Pier. They are also responsible for running the Island line on the Isle of Wight. But it's been well highlighted that South Western Railway has had their issues, more so than if you were to compare it to its successors, South West Trains, which was owned by Stagecoach. From industrial action about guards on trains, to brand new trains that are more delayed coming into passenger operations than the opening of Crossrail and the Elizabeth line. South Western Railway has clearly had its struggles. But now the government have stepped in, terminating the contract with First Group and MTR Corporation and stripping them of the South Western Railway franchise. But it won't be handed to a new operator this time. The franchise and the whole of the South Western Mainline and South Western Railway network is being brought back into public ownership, or in other terms, being renationalised. With First Group and MTR running the South Western Railway for the final time on the 24th of May this weekend, before then on Sunday the 25th of May with the DFT or Department for Transport and the government taking over. So I'm back at Albion Place and we'll just do sum up and that pretty much. Although to be fair, when I did just the other day I actually did go over the Redbridge flyover when all the works were going on, and it did feel incredibly long. It might not, it might have just taken the same time, but obviously the difference was our driver we had today just went through Totton and all of that and cut through Totton. Whereas the one I had previously just stayed on the Redbridge Road and that, he didn't cut through Tottenham or anything. So, and obviously I didn't time it, but it did obviously felt like, I would probably say it felt like maybe the same amount of time, I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, that's the Redbridge flyover. Hopefully should nearly be done by the weekend and all should be open. And then obviously we've got South Western Railway being renationalised and that's happening on Sunday. So yeah, that's pretty much all the big transport news in Southampton, I guess. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.